Good day everyone. Welcome back to Mr. and Mrs. Guru TV. I'm Teacher Me, and for this video, it was designed to help you learn about angle pairs and how they are related to each other based on their measurements.
So what are angle pairs? Relationships exist between two angles. Angle pairs are pair of angles working together to display some unusual or interesting property. Angle pairs include adjacent angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles, linear pair, and vertical angle. Let us define those angle pairs. So first, adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are angles on the same plane that have a common vertex and common side but no common interior points. In this figure, angles ABD and CBD are adjacent angles with B as their common vertex and ABD as their common side. Another example, angles BXY and YXZ are adjacent angles with X as their common vertex and ray XY as their common side. Next, complementary angles. Two angles are called complementary when the sum of their measures is 90 degrees. The measure of angle FAG plus the measure of angle DEG is equal to 55 degrees plus 35 degrees, and that is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, the two angles are complementary angles. Angle DEG is the complement of angle FAG. Also, angle FEG is the complement of angle DEG. Angles DEG and FEG have a common side EG and a common vertex E, but no common interior points. Therefore, angle DEG and angle FEG are adjacent angles at the same time complementary angles. On the other hand, the measure of angle TUB plus the measure of angle XYR is equal to 45 degrees plus 45 degrees, and this is equal to 90 degrees. These two angles are complementary. They have no common side and no common vertex, so they are non-adjacent complementary angles. How about supplementary angles? Two angles are called supplementary when the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. In this figure, angles MAO and PAO are adjacent angles. The sum of the measures of the two angles is equal to 180 degrees. So, angle MAO and angle PAO are supplementary angles. These two angles are supplements of each other. On the other hand, the measure of angle ABC plus the measure of angle WSR is equal to 55 degrees plus 125 degrees. This is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, the two angles are also supplementary angles. Notice also that these two angles are supplementary but not adjacent. They don't have a common vertex and a common side. Linear pair. Two angles are said to be linear if they are adjacent angles and supplementary. Angle BAY and angle YAZ are adjacent. They have a common vertex A and common side AY. At the same time, supplementary angles because the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. 45 plus 135 is 180 degrees. When two lines intersect, they form a pair of non-adjacent angles called vertical angles, or pair of opposite angles formed by intersecting lines. And vertical angles are congruent, meaning their measures are equal. Angles 1 and 3, angles 2 and 4 in this figure are the two pairs of vertical angles. Again, angle pairs are adjacent angles, complementary angles, supplementary angles, linear pair, and vertical angles. So now, let us check your understanding by answering some activities. Let's start with activity number 1 for 60 seconds. Identify whether the following pairs of angles are adjacent angles, linear pairs, complementary angles, supplementary angles, or vertical angles. Let's check. Number 1, adjacent and supplementary angles. Number 2, vertical angles. Number 3, adjacent angles. Number 4, adjacent and complementary angles. And number 5, vertical angles. Next activity for another 60 seconds. Write 5 pairs of vertical angles. Example, angle AGB and angle EGD are vertical angles. So some possible answers are number 1, angle BGC and angle FGE. Number 2, angle CGD and angle AGF. Number 3, angle AGC and angle FGD. Number 4, angle CGE and angle FGB. And number 5, angle BGD and angle AGE. Let's proceed with activity number 3 for another 60 seconds. Find the measure of the missing angle. And the answers are number 1, angle A is 40 degrees. Number 2, angle B is 90 degrees. And number 3, this angle is 145 degrees. For your last activity, which is activity number 4, we're going to solve the following problems. Number 1, find the measure of the complement of an angle whose measure is 25 degrees. Number 2, find the measure of the supplementary angle of a 30-degree angle, less than twice the other. And number 3, find the measures of all vertical angles in the figure where the measure of angle 1 is equal to 2x plus 15 and the measure of angle 2 is equal to 80 minus 3x. So I will give you 5 minutes to answer those problems. So let us check. Number 1, find the measure of the complement of an angle whose measure is 25 degrees. So we let x be the measure of the complement of an angle. Then our equation will be x plus 25 degrees is equal to 90 degrees. So why 90 degrees? Because the two angles are complementary. So using addition property of equality or transposition method, so the equation will become x is equal to 90 degrees minus 25 degrees. So the value of x is 65 degrees. So therefore, the measure of the complement of a 25-degree angle is a 65-degree angle. Number 2, find the measure of the supplementary angle of a 30 degrees angle less than twice the other. So for our representation, we let x be the measure of the first angle. Then 2x minus 30 is the measure of the second angle. Then our equation will be x plus the quantity 2x minus 30 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. So why 180 degrees? Because the two angles are supplementary. Then using addition property of equality or transposition method again, no? Then the value of x is 70 degrees. So substitute the value of x to our representation. So again, x is 70 degrees. Then 2x minus 30. So if we're going to substitute 70 to x, so we have 2 multiplied by 70 minus 30. So 2 times 70 is 140 minus 30, and that is equal to 110 degrees. So thus, the supplementary angles are 70 degrees and 110 degrees. Last number 3. Find the measures of all vertical angles in the figure, where the measure of angle 1 is equal to 2x plus 15, and the measure of angle 2 is equal to 80 minus 3x. So in this figure, we have two intersecting lines and we have two pairs of vertical angles. So namely angles 1 and 2 and angles 3 and 4. So remember also that vertical angles are congruent. So therefore, the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 2. So we're going to substitute the expression for angle 1 and angle 2. So we have 2x plus 15 is equal to 80 minus 3x. Then solve the equation. So the answer is 13, or the value of x is 13. And to find the measures of angle 1 and 2, we need to substitute the value of x, which is 13 degrees. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 2x plus 15. Substitute the value of x. So it will become 2 multiplied by 13 plus 15. So 2 times 13 is 26 plus 15, and this is equal to 41 degrees. And the measure of angle 2 is equal to 80 minus 3x. Substitute the value of x, which is 13. So 80 minus 3 multiplied by 13. So we have 80 minus 39. And that is equal to 41 degrees. So both angles 1 and 2 are 41 degrees. And to find the measures of angle 3 and 4, make sure that you know the relationships of angle 3 and angle 2. So angle 3 and 2 are supplementary angles. So therefore, their sum should be 180 degrees. So angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees minus 41 degrees, and this is equal to 139 degrees. So same with angle 4 because they are vertical angles. And remember that vertical angles are congruent. Again, the measures of all vertical angles are angle 1, 41 degrees, angle 2, 41 degrees, angle 3, 139 degrees, and angle 4, 139 degrees. So how is it? Have you expounded your knowledge on angle pairs? Great! Remember, maging matalino, matsaya, at mathambog.